Hello everyone, welcome back to another hero tutorial videos. This time, we'll be learn about Benedetta. Skill Introduction. Passive, Elapsep Daytime. When holding down the basic attack button, Benedetta enters the sword out state and keeps gathering sword intent. Releasing the basic attack button when sword intent is full allows Benedetta to use a sword out slash in the direction she's facing, dealing damage to enemies along the way. First skill, Phantom Slash. Benedetta withdraws swiftly and leaves a shadow in front. Benedetta and her shadow dash forward to slash. If she and her shadow bot hit the target, they will deal a large amount of damage. Second skill, an eye for an eye. Benedetta raises her weapon to defend, gaining control immunity and blocking damage from any source. After this, she stabs in a designated direction, dealing damage. If Benedetta fends off a control effect successfully during defense, she will stun the target for 1.5 seconds. Ultimate skill. Electo, Final Blow. Benedetta dashes forward, being untargetable while dashing. She then performs a slash, detonating the sword intent on the path to deal damage and slow enemies for 2.5 seconds. Skill Combo and Landing Phase. Before you start using Benedetta in various matches, you must master the use of her active and passive skills. The main highlight in playing Benedetta is the use of her passive, which allows Benedetta to carry out additional attacks and dashes at the same time. Benedetta is also known as a hero who has high mobility and long durability when diving into enemy formations. This is because his second skill has an immune effect against all types of crowd control other than suppress and can reverse it into a stun effect for the enemy, plus Benedetta's passive, which makes him a slippery hero and difficult to catch. Benedetta's passive will be fully collected with a total of 3 basic attacks. Each of his skills also contributes to his passive stack. The first skill will give 2 passive stacks if both slashes hit the enemy, then the first skill plus 1 basic attack equals 1 sword out slash. If the first skill hits more than 1 enemy hero, the passive will immediately be fully charged. The second skill contributes 1 stack of passive, so if you use the second skill then the first skill it will produce 1 sword out slash, or you can also do 2 basic attacks then the second skill and it will produce 1 sword out slash. Apart from this method, you can still make a sword out slash with a basic attack or by holding the basic attack button until the sword out intent stack is full. The ultimate skill will give 1 sword out slash to Benedetta if no targets are hit. But if an object is hit by Benedetta's ultimate, it will give 2 sword out slashes. The more enemies hit by Benedetta's ultimate, the faster her passive stack will fill. You can use ultimate skills to dive into the war area, or use them to chase dying enemy heroes. When using it, try to look for hit targets for the ultimate, for example enemy heroes, jungle creeps, or minions. This is done so that Benedetta's passive can be collected more quickly and produce more sword out slashes. There is no special combo sequence for Benedetta. The higher your mastery of her active and passive skills, the more varied gameplay variations you will produce. It is recommended not to be impulsive in using Benedetta's skills, especially her second skill, which functions to cancel crowd control effects. You can cover this gap and optimize your performance by utilizing her passive. Since her passive can penetrate map objects such as walls and can cause damage when used on enemy heroes or creeps, sword out slash completes both roles as an attacking skill and movement support. As a semi-fighter assassin type hero, Benedetta has 2 role choices, namely as a jungler or as an express laner. As Benedetta's express laner can be used to cut lane in the early to mid-game, cutting lane will speed up rotation, allowing you to invade enemy junglers and hinder their junglers' movements. When entering a war situation, there are 2 things you can do depending on your ability and comfort using Benedetta. The first is to zone or dive in towards the enemy mage and marksman. Or the second is to become a protector and front body for the team's mage and marksman at the start of the war, and switch to being a chaser for the enemy team in a dying condition who wants to run away when the war ends. Benedetta can also provide quick backup if the team's jungler is invaded by the enemy, so that when using Benedetta you don't need to focus too much on 1 versus 1 with the enemy fighter and are more sensitive to the map and team movements because Benedetta is very comfortable to use to combine with the jungler and carry out an invasion into the enemy's jungle. Moreover, with its high mobility, you don't need to be afraid of losing in landing because you do a lot of rotations. Item. Emblem setting, and the recommended spell. As mentioned before, that Benedetta can be used as jungler and express laner. This setting is used when serving as a jungler. And this setting is used when serving as an express laner. Hero compatibility. Strong against Eudora, Glue, Thamuz, Alpha. Countered by Wanwan, Ruby, Franco, Kaya, Kufra. Best teammates, Fanny, Wive, Lilia, Brody. And that's the Benedetta tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe the official channel of Mobile Legend and turn on the bell to get notifications about other videos. The next video we'll be learn about Parsha.